Welcome back to the third characteristic of the well-living workplace. I'm hoping you're benefiting from the first two and you got that list started, because I'm encouraging you to get at least 3 out of each of these videos that you're listening to now. So let's move into this next one. It's about network-based structure. When all people know that they are all leaders or managers at one time or another, they will realize they work in a network that has no center. So what we're getting at here is network-based structure. A network doesn't have a center to it. And when we create workplaces that don't have like an actual center to it, then what we're doing is we're starting to shift and shuffle the whole world of management and leadership into the whole organization. Because on any given day, if you think of it this way, if you took a bucket and you said to fill a bucket is 100 units, and you might say, of the work that I do, how many units are given to management? How many are given to leadership? How many are given to the administrative technical work? You can start to figure out that maybe your bucket is a little different than my bucket, which is a little different than your partner's bucket or someone who works for you. There's different sort of combinations of this. So the encouragement here for the well-living workplace is to understand how this management leadership is distributed within the organization and who's picking up what tasks. So that starts to establish more of what we call a network. There's really not a center to it. What you're doing is you're shifting everything around, and I like to think of it this way, is if someone's speaking, they're the sort of the bright light at that point in time and others are listening, and someone else speaks and these connections that go on, that sort of forms a network, like a spider's web kind of idea. The other thing that's really important here in this network-based structure is what you're going to do is listen for the facts, not the assumptions and opinions that people are going to be offering you. Because when you're in a network of people, everyone has their perspective of what's going on. But what you've got to do is you've got to listen for the facts, because they're the ones that are going to help you move forward in the actions that you're going to take. So if you're listening to opinions, you may go down a rabbit trail, and those are not going to help you in creating this well-living workplace. So with that, I'm just going to encourage you to think of it from this perspective. In this network that you're creating, how are you creating structural relationships and relational structures? Huh, what did he just say? Let me just do that again. Structural relationships. You're going to structure the way that you want your relationships to be about. One way to structure it is, I'm going to create a team, and people are going to become team members. But what you may want to do is you may want to have a relational structure. In other words, you want to have a very informal way of getting together with people, and you may not want to put it into a real formal structure. So you may want to keep it more as a group than working, let's say, as a team, which requires a lot more effort. So those are just some things to think about as you're working through this characteristic of network-based structure. So again, pick out the 3 tips that you can find in this video, write them down, and keep that list going. You'll find it very helpful later. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to people and their uniqueness in the next video.